Death is a sacred rite of passage. It's no different to birth. Birth is a sacred rite of passage for the woman, and it is a midwifery process, and it's the same for death. And so surrendering to death and allowing death to change you, allowing death to move you, allowing parts of yourself to die through that midwifery process, allowing yourself to literally burst somebody into the portal and through the portal and into their next journey is one of the most sacred, beautiful things that we can experience. And if we were to look at death from this perspective, from the higher spiritual perspective, and we were to look at death as a sacred rite of passage like what it is for birth, and if we were to look at death as a way to stop and slow down and surrender and be with ourselves and be with our hearts, to feel every single part of the process, the grief, the guilt, the questions, the sadness. And if we would allow ourselves to crumble, to soften, to open, to expand, and if we would allow the heart to shatter into 1,000 pieces so it could come back together more whole. This is what Tilly taught me. I'm going to put the pen down. I like to have something in my hand, but I'm going to put the pen down and wave my hands instead. This is what Tilly taught me, and this is what she showed me. That there is nothing to be afraid of in death. And in fact, honoring death and honoring the body through reverence and love and devotion and taking our pain to ceremony, this is how we transmute grief. This is how we can alchemize the deep dark hole of grief and shift into higher timelines. It doesn't mean we don't feel sad. It doesn't mean we don't feel grief. It doesn't mean we don't feel heartache and pain and we don't miss their absence. It means we don't get stuck in the hole. And when we can face grief consciously and head on and through the portal of our heart, and we don't run away from death, and we don't run away from grief, and we don't run away from the process of what's unfolding right in front of us, and we don't spiritually bypass and go into our heads and be like, oh, well, it is what it is, blah, 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 like everyone's going to die, so it is, move on. But when we actually sit in that and we allow ourselves to feel that and we allow ourselves to see death right in front of us. So I will do another video on this, but I kept Tilly's body for 4 days. The day that she transitioned, she stayed on my chest that whole night. And the only time I pulled her off my chest was to put her on the bed next to me and we slept together. And I held her, I spooned her like we always did. And then I put her on ice the next day because obviously the body starts going through the deterioration, the breaking down process. And I held her for 4 days and did a whole flower bed and I sat with it. This is how we show love and reverence in death. And this is the invitation for all of us. And when we can sit with death and we can be present with it and we block out everything else and we just be there and we feel it all. This is how we transform. And this is my invitation to all of you that are watching this video right now. How can you bring more love, reverence, and sacredness and devotion to the process of death? Because it is a sacred rite of passage, and it is equally as beautiful, and if not more beautiful, than birth. I'll leave that with you, when I'll chat to you again soon. Sending you much love.